right, great. Thank you, Jimmy. All right, folks. Jimmy, which president candidate are you voting for? He's not going to tell you, Sandra.
I'm not voting.
Change, look, and then he just tells you. All right, you can do camera 4 beside me. We made the correction. Bing! Love it. Change is not going to come from voting. It will only come from more people facing and healing their childhood trauma. SS. I love Jimmy's passion. Maxwell.
Okay, coming to me.
Back to Jim.
So get this. Newsweek put out a bogus story, and it's never going to say it on their Wikipedia page that they spread misinformation. But they will say it on mine. So Newsweek and New York Times and the Washington Post, they print misinformation all the time. They have a retraction section of their newspaper.
American deep state media?
But I'm not allowed to do that. So if ever I get something wrong and I correct it, it'll always be on Wikipedia that I spread misinformation.
Well, nobody believes
One time, I said something one time that wasn't true. I got we got hoaxed into that Joe Biden had a guy in blackface perform at a fundraiser once, which he didn't. That was a doctored video, and we fell for it. We immediately corrected it when we found out it was a hoax.
I mean, that's the least racist story about him.
But they still, right. But it'll still say in Wikipedia that I spread that misinformation. It won't say on Newsweek's Wikipedia that they're spreading misinformation, because they are. It says Tucker Carlson launched a show on Russian state TV. Completely made up, fake, phony. That's fake news. They're spreading misinformation. They're conspiracy theorists at Newsweek. Of course they are.
Wait, what is really happening?
And then everybody ran with it. So here's all these mainstream news media people. Tristan Snell, breaking, Tucker Carlson launches Russian show. This is not a joke or a parody. Tucker Carlson is literally a paid Putin propagandist. Here's Michael Steele, the former RNC chairman. He says, Russia, this is without question our number one geopolitical foe. They fight every cause, the world's worst act. Who says that? He's tweeting out Mitt Romney.
You're quoting Mitt Romney.
He says, Tucker's finally gets to go home. What a pathetic mouthpiece for Putin. These are all people lying and repeating propaganda. So the Kiev Independent, of course, the Kiev Independent.
They've canceled elections in Ukraine, by the way.
Here's someone named Roman Shermeta. Sounds like Roman Smegma. Here's Angelo Caruso. I don't know who these people are. Here's the Republicans against Trump. Republicans against Trump.
Oh,
so you know what they are? There's the donor class. That's the Uniparty. They just say it right in their name. They say Tucker Carlson has launched his own show on Russian state television channel. Russian state newspaper Tucker Carlson is a Russian asset.
I know none of these.
That's what they do to journalists here in the United States.
Listen, Russia is more powerful, more popular than all of you. Like, oh my God, he was paid by Putin. Putin is better than Biden. Never mind Trump. Putin is better than Biden.
So here is Glenn Greenwald. He says the original Newsweek headline predictably went viral, claiming Tucker Carlson has launched a new program on Russian state TV. The edited article now makes clear that the whole story is bullshit. False. But it was an irresistible McCarthyite smear, and that's why all those people smeared him. And here it is. Maybe Glenn says, here it is right here. It says correction. Look at the tiny correction. This article was updated to make clear there is no evidence that Tucker Carlson's network has done a deal with Russian state TV.
Whoa. So
that's all they have to do. And their Wikipedia page will never say that they spread misinformation and conspiracy theories. So Glenn Greenwald says, maybe journalists should check a story before mindlessly spreading it on social media merely because it contains incriminating claims about their new enemy, guilty of crime of criticizing Israel. So Tucker Carlson's show aired by, there it is. There it is. You want to see it? Says the CEO of the Tucker Carlson network has rejected claims in Russian state media that the former Fox News anchor has made a deal for his show. The claims appear to have originated with the program Tucker, which is broadcast on Russia 24, but comprises old episodes of Carlson's show taken from Twitter and YouTube, complete with Russian voiceover. The first episode and other clips from previous months are now available online. Russian state newspaper on the website where programs shown on Russia state channels can be viewed is an episode introduced by Tucker Carlson dated May 18th and dubbed into Russian. The website also hosts other clips from previous months of interviews that Carlson has conducted. Independent news outlet Astra confirmed that the program features Russian language dubbing of Carlson's American shows and is not original content for Russian viewers. In September of 2023, Russia 24 aired a trailer for a show featuring Carlson without clips. So this is McCarthyite smears. That's all the mainstream news does now is smear people as traitors to our country. That's it. Carlson told the Financial Times that he knew nothing about this. Well, you think that would be the headline? Neil Patel, CEO of the Tucker Carlson Network, denied claims that the airing of the episodes was part of a joint project. The Tucker Carlson Network has not done any deals with the state media in any country. Whoever is currently pretending to be the old Newsweek brand would know that if they checked with us before printing, news companies are supposed to do.
Yeah, they don't do that no more.
They don't do that.
I found that out a long time ago. They don't check with you before they print some shit about you.
So here's Glenn Greenwald. Amazing. This tweet and headline are still up. Given the entire rewritten article, as well as the corrections appended at the end, make clear that it's false. It should be retracted. Russian obsessions are more unhinged now than they were in the 1950s. Yes, they are.
They're not even communists now.
They're not even communists now.
They're competing gas lines.
They're shitty crony capitalists, just like the United States. So now you know why people come to shows like this. Okay, over to Steph.
All right. Seaweed, thank you very much. Agriculture, domestication, neutering, enslavement, and violence go hand in hand. Only cultures that practice agriculture, at least in part, are violent. See Dr. Peter Gray, How Hunter-Gatherers Maintain Egalitarian. Yes, Hannah, sir, I've noted that book. Thank you for the recommendation. Did you see Cornell's wife tweet where she spread misinformation that most Iranians were celebrating the death of their president, Rossi? May jest, I did not see that.
I understand she's a shit lib, but I'm not. That's what I've heard from insiders.
All right.
And that she's a big hater of the Jimmy Dore show. Well, now along with Cornell.
That's a surprise, right?
Yeah, but before his interview, she was a hater of the Jimmy Dore show. They bought into the COVID lies. They bought into Russiagate lies. They bought into all that shit. So
she's his handler.
Right,
okay.
Right. So, hey, guess what happened? Senator Antony Blinken, who's a war criminal, who's funding genocide and is making sure we try to start World War III with Russia, China, and with Iran in the Middle East. That's who this guy is.
The real president?
This is the guy that, remember how they say Trump is a maniac and he's got his finger on the button? This is the guy they want you to think Trump is. No, it's this guy, Antony Blinken, who is a bloodthirsty maniac who is risking the life of the entire planet with nuclear wars on 3 different fronts. All the stuff they said about Trump is true about this guy.
He's even got a Roman emperor kind of name, Antony.
Antony, not Anthony, Antony. His name is Antony.
Where did he come from? I never heard of him.
He's been working with Joe Biden for a long time. So Code Pink went there and they did this. They protested him giving testimony in Congress. Watch
People's
this.
Republic of China.
He is a war criminal. The blood of 40,000 people is on his hands. The blood of 40,000 Palestinians is on his hands. He is a war criminal. He is a war criminal. Lincoln is a war criminal. The blood of 40,000 people is on his hands.
That's what a guy looks like who has no conscience. That's what a mass murdering guy who has no conscience looks like. That's the face they make.
Secretary, you may continue. People's Republic of China is pursuing military, economic, and geopolitical preeminence, challenging our vision for a free, open, secure.
There he is, warmongering over China. This guy is hungry for World War III. Hungry for it. All the stuff that they warned you about Trump is happening with Joe Biden and this maniac. These are the people they want you to think Trump is. That's them. These are the adults in the room.
Prosperous international order.
And then here is The Capitol Police violently carried out Olivia out of the hearing room. They threatened her with charges of resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer. That's what cops do. I don't know if Code Pink should know that, but here we go. Let's watch.
By their arms, the people are bleeding in there, and it's like
They took her shoes, it looks like.
Lincoln is a war criminal.
You're going to be charged with resisting arrest if you do not stop.
You're gonna look at that.
How many people is one woman?
Look at that. 1, 2, 3. I count 5 cops.
Yeah.
5 cops for one woman. Well, actually 7.
Mr. Blinken's trying to speak, Jimmy.
Mr. Blinken.
You know he went to the Dalton School where Epstein taught? His dad's a private equity guy from a big private equity place.
While you're having coffee this morning and enjoying the day, this is what the Zionists did in Rafah. Most of it. So that's you know what's happening. So I don't even want to show it. So you know what's happening. I can't watch those images. You can go see those images all over Twitter. I don't think you can see them on Facebook. I don't think you can see them on TikTok. I don't know where else, but you certainly can't see them on Facebook. That's for sure. Facebook is the most evil. They are, of all the social media companies, I would say Facebook is the most evil. It completely works for the big pharma and the military-industrial complex and the FBI. And the guy who runs it is he's a criminal himself, a huge criminal who spies on you, just in case you don't know it. Okay. Over to Steph.
If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle-diddle-diddle-digga-digga-diddle-diddle-dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, the babies that have been murdered, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people so-called minority people, money poor people. This government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. We don't really know what war is. For black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison. But they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators. And they're going to have riots on their hands. They're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. We have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, what we need, what needs to be done. And, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. Don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, this system and those backing the officials running this system, want people to believe that revolution means violence, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. When people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. They get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. Every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. Our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. Men, women, and children were murdered. And not just MOVE babies. What about all of the young men, women, children 8, 9 years old shot down on the street by cops, by drug pushers? Where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, making a quick buck, I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. How long are people going to sit back and beg you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years, all you've gotten is a slap in the face. All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit